Adam Balls over Samson Manufacturing Operation X-Man, here to show you the new DMR Scope Mount. This one happens to be the 2-inch offset with 30mm scope rings. This one weighs 9.6 ounces. We'll be going over some of the neat features, what they did a little bit different than other manufacturers with the scope mount up close. We'll be mounting a Bushnell Elite 1 to 6.5 by 24 scope in it. Mounting it up to my 18-inch carbine. We'll run some rounds through it, get it zeroed in. Then we're going to do a test. We'll take the scope mount off the rifle, shake it around a bit, mess around with it, put it back on. Samson guarantees return to zero. We're going to find out if it returns to zero. Alright, we'll go over some of the features of the new scope mount here. We first pulled out of the box. One of the first things I noticed, of course, was the dual ram mount here on the side. Real easy to operate. You just simply lift up on the retainer here. It moves up, and you move it out, down and around, and they loosen up. Simple to use. There are Allen head screws, both top and bottom, that go into the bottom of the scope rings. What I found out is Samson plans, if you say are changing scopes, you go from a 1-inch to a 30mm or go to a 34mm scope, you don't have to buy a whole new setup. You'll be able to purchase these rings at a later date, pull the bolts out, put your new rings on, tighten them down, and be good to go. Let's say your upper is not in spec. Some manufacturers' upper is a little bit wider, a little bit narrower on their Picatinny rail. Really cool thing on this back side here, I noticed there were some detents. If you see, there's a detent here and a detent here. You tighten down the ram mount, still seems a little bit loose. You can press in the detent and then go clockwise to tighten up. Move it one notch in, see if it fits a little tighter. If it fits plenty tight, you're good. If it happens to fit too tight, same thing. You push the detent in, counterclockwise, you loosen it up. Really cool feature, makes it really nice to adjust for the variances in different manufacturers' products. Get this thing apart real quick. There's another feature I want to show everybody. We'll go ahead and just take the front ring off here. As you noticed, a little finish is missing here from the anodizing. So upon closer inspection, I noticed there was red inside here. Didn't know if it was thread locker or not. That's actually helicoils. They have steel helicoil inserts inside there. Coming from somebody who has maybe at one point in time stripped out aluminum thread with a steel bolt, this will help prevent that. It's in all 4 of these. I did pull the scope ring itself off. They are not underneath here. One thing I was curious about after I pulled it off is if these bolts that hold the scope ring on will stay low enough not to interfere with the tube itself, and they are recessed in there, so you shouldn't have any issue with any kind of contact.
Hi. Weather's finally cleared off enough for me to come out and give the Samson DMR scope mount a run. We're going to shoot a group at 100 yards, pull the scope mount off, and return it, see if it returns to zero. Samson claims that the DMR scope mount returns to zero. We're going to find out. After that, I've got a 3-gun dump barrel. I'm going to dump this thing in the barrel 20 or 30 times fairly hard, give a little bit of 3-gun abuse, see if it retains at zero. That's something that's important to me, to make sure that I can run this thing in a match or run it hard and it will return to zero or not shift or lose at zero. Let's see what this thing can do. Now, I'm not the world's greatest rifle shot, I'll tell you that right now. In fact, this might just completely suck. The 5-shot group, like I said, I suck, but I happened to throw a couple. I felt those when I threw them. But we got 3 in here that aren't horrible, 2 that I am definitely not proud of and I need to work on. But all right, let's take this thing off. locked on nice and tight. See if we can get another group out of this. Alright, so I miscounted. I thought I shot 5 times, but evidently I only shot 4. So coming back here, after taking it off, shaking around a bit, and putting it back on, I'm pretty convinced that the scope returned to 0. Like I said, I'm not the best rifle shot in the world, and with the scope I'm using, I'm pretty happy with that group. Alright, I'm back. We're going to do the rifle dump, or the rifle dump in the barrel real quick. Make sure that the rifle is empty. The bolt may fall forward on this, but there's no magazine in the rifle, and it is on safe. So, here we go. We're going to need to go clean this. There's a little bit of mud at the end of my barrel. So what I'm going to do is stop, clean the barrel, and shoot the group. Alright, I got to clean back up after this barrel dumps. So a few rounds of ammunition here. The center. Alright, so I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I felt myself pull a couple of those. That's why I threw an extra couple rounds down. I know it's not the problem of the mount. It's my problem when I'm doing this and this. But not too bad. I may have a little bit of shift, but I was kind of violent there with the barrel dumps. And this is also after I had cleaned the barrel, because I'd been shooting a little bit before we did this. I cleaned the barrel. Could have had a little bit of a group shift with that. Thanks for watching, and you'll see more reviews from me, Adam Balzer, Samson Operation X.